Welcome, my friends. I'm so excited to be here with Wendy Goldberg. She is the executive director, co-founder of TriFaith Initiative. Wendy, thank you for joining me today.
So glad to be here.
It's good to see you. We have a walk, or I should say you have a walk coming up called United We Walk, and it's coming up on September 11th. This is the first annual, and I'm just so excited to talk to you about what this is, who can show up and walk, and all the details. So let's just first start off is why United We Walk? Why was it created?
So United We Walk is intended to signal to Omaha that we're an inclusive place, that's a value that's important to everyone. And we wanted to give a gift to Omaha, an opportunity to show up and stand shoulder to shoulder to walk the walk, right? It's an awful lot of conversation these days about what does it mean to create a community of belonging. And we believe that Omaha is just ready to embrace all the different cultures and colors of all of our neighborhoods. And so we're inviting all of Omaha to show up on September 11th to walk with us and to signal that peace and unity is something that we all value.
Yeah. You know, you answered this, but I'm gonna ask it to you again and see if we can dive a little deeper. But you know, the theme of unity. First of all, it's important to you. Can you just speak a little bit that from a personal note?
Sure. So I've been on this journey for 17 years to model the co-location of a church, a mosque, a synagogue, and an interfaith center. It doesn't exist anyplace else in the world. Omaha should be so proud that we are home to the TriFaith Initiative, and that in a time, who would have had the foresight when we got started on this to know how deeply divided our country would be. This day is not about politics. It's about love. It's about showing up for humanity. And we really believe that across all different identities, people for whom faith is core to their identity, people for whom are questioning or hurt by a faith community, our tent is big enough for everyone, and that we want to make spaces that are brave in this world, that we can hear each other and see each other and know each other's stories. This is just a beautiful opportunity for us to do that together.
Yeah, and there are a lot of stories out there about unity and united. And I just, we had a conversation a few weeks ago that was, first of all, just absolutely amazing and beautiful, and really learning a little bit more about you and this, like you said, this journey you've been on. And here we are. There's so many pieces of it that I'm going to get into that at a later time. But inviting people to this walk again, September 11th, 3 to 6. And you're saying this is a community walk. It's not for a certain kind of person, a certain age of person. It really is for everybody. And that's on purpose.
Yeah, it's a family-friendly event. It's accessible. So it's 1.2 miles. So you don't have to get your running shoes out today to prepare. We hope that it's available for everyone to walk or roll or come with us on this journey. It's going to be a festival environment after the walk with food trucks and music and spoken word. We have community groups coming out to do a fair so we can understand how different organizations across Omaha are addressing this topic of inclusion and where there are opportunities for people to get engaged in our community in lots of ways. If you haven't been to the TriFaith Commons before, it's also an opportunity to see the buildings, right? And so if you've never toured, never maybe stepped foot inside a synagogue or a mosque, this is a great first, opening. And we're really excited to partner with the Kiewit Luminarium and the Science Museum, a little peek into what they're going to be all about, and an opportunity to do a little pop-up experience with them in the TriFaith Center during this afternoon.
Yeah, That's so exciting. And again, so it's at the TriFaith Commons, which is 132nd and Pacific. Yeah,
13136 Faith Plaza. That's
Faith
what you
Plaza.
should.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, Faith Plaza.
Yes.
Yes. 131. Oh, I've got it right here. Yep. Say that again.
13136 Faith Plaza.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about registration and how people can register. And also, is there a charge for this?
So people can go to trifaith.org and register. Registration is free, but the work that we're doing to combat bigotry and hate in this world, in Nebraska, religiously motivated hate crimes are up 300%, right? So
Wow.
our work is urgent, and giving the skills to have conversations across lines of difference, to celebrate difference, is so important. So we would love people to register and come walk with us for free. But if you're so inclined to also give a donation or encourage your place of work or community group to support us in any way, we sure would appreciate it.
Well, and let's talk a little bit. I think we touched on this, but how are your partners supporting this walk? And who are your partners?
So first, the founding faith partners are Temple Israel, Countryside Community Church, and the American Muslim Institute. Their doors will be open, and they'll be having really interesting activities happening inside their building after the walk from 4 to 6. And then also, we have other partners as well. The Chamber is our partner in this. Jewish Federation of Omaha, River City Mixed Chorus, One World Health is bringing a team. As I said, the Kiewit Luminarium, our growing list, because Omaha wants to show up for and with each other, right? And this is, and we all need a day that's filled with hope.
Yes.
So after we're finally going to have, after, almost 3 years of isolation, this is a chance to show up and be together. Oh man, we need those moments. So this is a happy day. Come celebrate with us.
Absolutely. And again, it is a walk. It's a walk around a beautiful, beautiful campus area that I'm looking forward to it. I've been there, but not to the place where I can just explore and take my time. So we've got a couple minutes left. So let's just talk a little bit about TriFaith Initiative, kind of give us the so-called elevator speech. There's so much to it, but let's just talk a little bit about that before I let you go.
Sure. So, TriFaith started in 2006, and our intention at that time was to build a neighborhood. And I think it was inspired out of, Omaha by design. Maybe we were going to have a shared picnic table. What would it mean if we could really know our neighbors and know their story? Who would believe that, 4 buildings, 4 communities of faith have come together, as I said, doesn't exist anyplace else in the world, to model what does collaboration mean? And what have we learned along that way? We've learned that knowing someone else's story reduces fear, and it opens us to be curious. I have had so many beautiful experiences to witness other people's religious traditions, their rituals, how they behave in order to feel like they belong. And an example would be, what does it mean to watch a Muslim person wash in preparation for prayer? In Judaism, we have some of those traditions as well. When we notice the similarities, it's inspiring and exciting to learn new things. And when we honor the differences, is where the magic happens. When we have space for people to authentically bring themselves and to say, wow, you use different words for that, or you do that on a different day. How could I get to know you better? And so now we know, those kinds of experiences are possible in Omaha, Nebraska. What a model to the world.
Absolutely. Wendy, thank you so much. And inviting everybody. United We Walk, September 11th from 3 to 6. Come out, meet your neighbors, unite, celebrate. It's going to be a great afternoon. And thank you for creating this and all the people that were involved in creating this. I'm excited.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your support. If you have questions, feel free to email us, give us a call. We sure hope you'll join us.
Yeah. All right, Wendy, I will see you soon. And folks, we will be right back. Well, hello, my friends. I'm excited to be here with Jim Hegarty. He is the president and CEO of the Better Business Bureau of the Midwest. So, Jim, thank you for joining me today.
Oh, it's my absolute pleasure. It's awesome to be here. We aren't the entire Midwest, but we're certainly a nice chunk of it. We've had the benefit of expanding over the last 25 years or so into what I guess would be termed as a regional Better Business Bureau, but our headquarters is here in our beloved city of Omaha.
Right. Well, again, I think, before we hit record, you're telling me that it used to just be Omaha and now you cover 4 states. Is that correct?
Yeah, when I came to work for the Better Business Bureau in 1994, we were the Omaha Better Business Bureau. I think we had somewhere in the neighborhood of 600 members, and I'm not sure all of them were paying their bills. But we've grown now into a bureau of nearly 10,000 members, covering 4 states. We've got offices in South Dakota, Kansas. We serve the whole state of Nebraska, a nice chunk of Iowa, and I think that there'll be greater opportunities for us to have more expansion in the future.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be talking about the 25th anniversary of what is now called the Torch Awards, used to be the Integrity Awards. But before we talk about the awards piece, let's just talk about the BBB and what is it? I think people kind of know what it is, but you guys do so much more. The organization does so much more than just kind of find the people that, maybe aren't doing ethical things. That's kind of what people think of. But yeah, I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think sometimes people do think of us as the place you call if you're unhappy to complain about a problematic experience that you've had. I think also people do think of reaching out to us when they're looking for a business that meets our standards, looking for a company that they can trust. So our mission is to be the leader in advancing marketplace trust. And we do that in a variety of ways. I mean, a big thing that everybody's familiar with is our practice of denouncing substandard business practices. And we've got our sleeves rolled up and we're in the trenches every day monitoring the marketplace, warning businesses and consumers about problematic business practices that might have impact on them, schemes, scams. But also, we're in the business of creating communities of trustworthy businesses through our accreditation process so that the consuming public has a resource that they can turn to. They know that if a business is accredited by the BBB, that they've been vetted, they meet our standards. So we're a standard-based membership organization. And then, additional on top of that, we're very committed to celebrating marketplace role models, which is, why we created our Integrity Awards 27 years ago. It's sort of reinvented itself a few times. It's now called the Torch Awards. But the bottom line is it's an opportunity for us on an annual basis to take some time off from the business of managing complaints and warning everybody about the bad actors and the schemes and scams, and setting aside some time to really honor local businesses that have made these extraordinary commitments to doing business the right way. You know, the sort of stuff that's not required, it's out of the
Right.
box, and it's what really sets them apart from their competitors.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about the Torch Awards, because that is a big event coming up on
Sure.
September 21st. And like you had mentioned, the awards, you know, it's 27 years, but because of what's been happening over the last, you know, 2 to 3 years, you had to
Right.
put it on hold. But this year is the 25th celebration. And what are you celebrating?
Yeah, we're celebrating really the evolution of a remarkable event. Like I said, you
Yeah.
know, it's an opportunity for us to celebrate businesses that have made this exceptional commitment to doing business the right
Right.
way. And over the years, we have celebrated a ton of businesses that really are really quite remarkable in the way that they conduct themselves. So, you know, it's way beyond what they're legally required to do. It's the kind of stuff that really sets them apart. Many of them are very recognizable. Some of the larger corporations, in fact, most, I think, of our larger companies here in Omaha over the years have been recognized at these events.
Yeah.
But I think just as importantly, a lot of smaller businesses that, you know, for many reasons you may not have ever heard of had we not taken the time to shine the light into
Yeah.
what it is that they're doing for their customers, for their employees, and the commitments that they've made. And the very first Integrity Awards, I remember being there, and it was in a small salon over at, I think it was maybe the Regency Best Western. It's not even there anymore.
Sure. Yeah.
And we were in a small salon, and we might have had 25 businesses, attendees show up for our very, very first event. Our last event, I think we were over 800 that were in attendance. We are very committed to bringing in keynote speakers that are universally known, very recognizable, to provide some really meaningful content for everybody that shows up. And I think that if you talk to really anybody that's been to one of our Torch Awards or Integrity Awards over the last 10 years, they will tell you that it is an awesome user experience. And we know there's lots of luncheons, and that's a super competitive business to be in. But we feel that this is really, it's a special event because of what it is that we're there to honor. And that's business done the right way.
Right. Well, let's talk about the speaker for this year's event.
Yeah.
Very notable guy, made a big impact, but I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, so John Carreyrou, right? And if that name doesn't sound familiar, Theranos might sound familiar. Elizabeth Holmes might sound familiar. And over the last year, we've seen Elizabeth Holmes in the news a lot. Her trial was held. She was found guilty. You know, Theranos, as it turns out, was a massive fraud, and probably, I mean, you know, with the exception of perhaps, you know, Bernie Madoff, you know, maybe one of the largest frauds in American history. Lots of people, you know, taken in and taken under by this scheme. So John Carreyrou was the Wall Street Journal investigative reporter that was very, very critical in breaking this story, digging in. Things didn't smell right. They didn't look right. And so he is widely known as being, you know, one of the responsible parties for sort of, you know, pulling the curtain on Theranos. His book Bad Blood is a bestseller, and he is an exceptional presenter. So people that show up for this event, man, they are in for a very special treat. I mean, not only is it our 25th anniversary, and not only are we going to be celebrating some amazing businesses, but I think the takeaway from his talk is going to be really something. And we're going to have some coffee and up close personal opportunities for folks to get up close and personal with him at the event as well. So we are super thrilled. He was not easy to secure. And, with the trial being held this year,
Yes.
and with her being found guilty, the demand for his services have gone up exponentially. So
Sure.
we feel super fortunate to be able to bring him to Omaha and offer this opportunity to the business community.
Well, again, the event's on the 21st of September, and people can, I mean, tickets are ready.
Yeah. If you go to bbb.org, you come to our website. There's a link right there
Yeah.
where folks can connect. And I think that we're probably going to have some information about that. I think we're running some ads in the MBJ.
You are. We're
Right
excited to
now.
be.
I think I just looked at last week's, and so grab your MBJ, open it up, and you can see the information about how you can access the event, purchase tickets. And we are just thrilled to fill that room and get back to doing this. I mean, we're in our 27th year, celebrating our 25th anniversary, because
Right.
we've all been in the twilight zone for 2 years.
Right.
So it's so awesome, isn't it? Just to have a chance to get back together again. I know that I'm enjoying that. And we are just thrilled to get back into the room with the businesses that provide so much support to us and make it possible for us to do this work.
And this is outside of the event.
Sure.
So with the BBB and the last couple of years and everything going on, did your organization or did people reaching out to you? I mean, did that change at all? Was that different with what was required of you, or was it still kind of, I mean, I don't want to say business as usual, but was there something there that how did you guys weather, if you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. So activity to our site increased unbelievably. So many schemes, so many scams connected to COVID. So many schemes and scams connected to PPP loans. I mean, you name it. And offshore scammers were finding ways to leverage the pandemic and the crisis that we were experiencing here in our country to benefit themselves. So we were really pushed and stretched to be responsive to that. And I am so proud, not just of our bureau, but the whole bureau system for stepping up, adapting. We had to send all of our people home, just like everybody had to send all of their people home. We had to do that very quickly. We didn't have a lot of time to be prepared for that. And the way in which our staff has responded to working in remote environments and continued to be available to the consuming public at a time when we were probably needed more than ever. Super excited about that. And I'm happy to report that the BBB system itself has just never been stronger. Our relevance is growing. It's a very different landscape now. I mean, we have, I guess, what you would sort of think of as competitors where we didn't have that before, whether it's review sites or all sorts of ways and all sorts of people claiming to be able to point you in the direction of a trustworthy business. We feel that we're the most experienced at that. And we feel that because of the standard-based nature of the way in which we hold businesses accountable, that we're a source of reliability and trust that people can really count on. So overall, we've weathered the storm. I hope the storm is over. Fingers crossed.
I know. Yes.
We're all hopeful for that, right? But this business community that we're here, I mean, we're headquartered in Omaha. We serve a large region, but we feel so blessed to be in this city. And this could have been a time when a lot of businesses that supported us said, listen, things are tight. We've got to pull the plug. We're not going to be able to do that. Our retention has never been higher. So the rate of renewal for businesses that support us has never been higher than it's been over the last 2 years. And so, I mean, we won't ever be able to find a way to adequately thank the Omaha business community for supporting us through very tough times. But I think they understand that our work's important, and they want a healthy, vital, Better Business Bureau serving this market.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got about 30 seconds.
Okay.
left. So people, for businesses looking to be accredited, looking for that, that recognition and wanting that stronghold on their business so people can find them.
Sure.
What do they do?
Yeah, just come to bbb.org. There's an opportunity to learn more about accreditation. You can learn more about applying for our awards. All the information that you would ever need about us is there. And if that doesn't work, Google us and give us a call. We've got folks that actually answer telephones. So we're not too tough to reach. And we'll look forward to answering any questions that we can if anybody wants to reach out.
Well, Jim, thank you so much for joining me today. Thanks for the information. Great interview. And thank you for everything that you do, that your team does, that the Bureau does, just, overall. It's very amazing and very necessary. So I just personally want to thank you.
Well, listen, and we feel the same way. We're a mutual admiration society.
Yeah.
We're grateful for the Business Journal for the work that you've hung in there with, and that we continue. Every Friday I get that publication, and I look forward to seeing it. So thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, Jim, we'll see you on the 21st. Encourage everybody to go to the website, get these tickets. It's going to be an amazing luncheon, speaker, and just a huge celebration. So thanks so much.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're
Take care.
welcome.